No, you're not. I hate to break the news. We only have 2 new members. We're happy to have you as here tonight with everybody else in the room. But let me just say, new members of the community board are in the first couple of rows, as long as we have the first couple of rows, and everybody else is except for Ty's and you're the back row.
And the side.
And the side, yeah, and then we'll probably have one latecomer. I don't know who might that be. No comment. Okay, so I'm Valerie Mason. I'm the chair of the board. Welcome. To my right is our district manager, Ian McKnight. To my left, Lindsay Fortman, Sebastian Howell Clark, and Craig Lader, our secretaries. Our first vice chair is in the audience, Elise Farber. I see her waving her hand. And our second vice chair, Addison Lev, right there in the corner. That's the full complement of our officers. And so we'll get going. So if you are in the room and scheduled to speak, is that gonna work now, you think?
That one should work, yeah,
Okay.
that one should be.
So, if you have signed up for the public session, if you wanna come to the front, say your name,
Yes.
where you live. where
I
you're going.
I will call 3 people at a time. If you're signed up for the public session, please wait for your name to
Okay.
be called. We'll start with the people who are here in person, then we'll go to the people dialing in by phone, and then we'll go to Zoom. We'll start with Lisa Levine, Mitchell Gordon, and John Hocknell.
You're gonna have 2 minutes, you can look at the clock to see. Just say your name, address.
Hi, everyone. My name is John Hocknell. I am a Hunter College student and president of the Placemakers Club. I also currently work in Community District 8. I'm speaking to support the East 69th Street Public Road Improvements Project presented to the Transportation Committee 2 weeks ago by DOT and Hunter College. Sorry. My name is John. I'm here to support the East 69th Street Public Road Improvements Project. Members of the Hunter administration are present here in support of it, as well as some Hunter students and Placemakers members. They will also join here today in person and virtually. Through our own experiences being in this district and through community members we've engaged with, Placemakers Club at Hunter have identified the critical need for more public outdoor seating options in the neighborhood. This is why the Placemakers are proposing a new public open and pedestrianized space on the south side of East 69th Street. Between Park and Lexington Avenues, sorry. This would be a part of DOT's Street Scenes program and provide approximately 900 square feet of new space for outdoor seating. We know there have been some questions raised about our outreach. We would like to address that. Placemakers distributed flyers to residents, businesses, and pedestrians along East 69th Street and Lexington Avenue, which explained the proposal, invited residents to a neighbors Q&A, and encouraged participation in the survey. We spoke to a doorman at the private condo who agreed to share the flyers with residents. We met with a representative of Ms. Shamali, as well as a concierge member at the Union Club, who both agreed to share that internally. And then we engaged with other residents at 10921. 25th East 69th Street, provided those flyers. And Hunter's Office of External Affairs also reached out on behalf of Placemakers by email. And all that outreach culminated in a neighbors meeting on May 27th.
Okay,
Thank you all.
thank you, appreciate it. Good luck.
Hi, I'm Lisa Levine. I'm so happy to follow John because my topic is very similar. I recently moved to East 57th Street from Tudor City, where there are 2 beautiful small parks. If you know the area, you know how beautiful it is. So these parks are part of what creates a community in Tudor City. They've become a hub of activity with both planned events and impromptu gatherings as people use and enjoy the space. New York City in general needs more spaces like John was talking about, available to those of us who live here because of the density of apartments and pedestrian traffic in the area. The space on 59th Street abutting the bridge opposite Trader Joe's is a perfect location for seating. Maybe greenery, maybe pet friendly, depending on community desires. This space can become useful, attractive, and an asset in this community.
Okay, no clapping, please. Thank you. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Mitch Gordon, and I've lived on 69th Street between Park and Lex for about 33 years. It's a wonderful neighborhood. We raised our kids there, but there's no communal space. So I'm speaking for myself, my building. I'm treasurer and VP of our co-op board in support of the DOT proposal. I know there also, I think it will improve the neighborhood significantly. Also, I know there's some questions about parking. And I'm a weird data guy and I park on the street and parking, I have data for the last 17 years. Every time I park, the parking in our neighborhood, for some odd reason I can't explain, has gotten better and easier and easier. Last year, my parking time improved by about 40%. So I think the elimination of 2 spaces, 3 spaces will have zero impact on that, and I've got the data to back that up. So I hope that
Do you have it with you?
I could send.
Yeah, thank you.
I think that the community would benefit from this. There's really no non-commercial space within a couple of minutes to sit and just read a book, have a coffee. The complaints or the concerns we've had is just over potential noise and following rules, and Hunter has agreed to post the rules that I think are consistent with the DOT's rule book, and that means no alcohol, no smoking, and Hunter, I know, has also agreed to maintain and also provide security, so we're very much in this project. Thank you very much.
Okay, I just wanted to, if you're clapping, you're slowing it down. I appreciate it. If you're in favor of it, you can go like this, okay? And if you're against it, you can go like that. Expression, but just like, thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Dylan Brown, Daniel Crippen, and Lisa Levine.
Oh, there's a VRG in the back.
Yeah, go ahead. You can sit there. Nobody's.
And after them, the next group of 3 will be Jackson Espel, Pamela Conrad, and Rachel Skinner O'Neill.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. My name is Daniel Crippen. I'm a former Hunter College student, a member of the Hunter Placemakers, and a longtime neighborhood resident. I live on 63rd Street. There are many things I love about this community: its density, its energy, its people, restaurants, museums, excellent access to public transit and the waterfront and Central Park. But one thing the neighborhood lacks is small pockets of open space where people can sit, enjoy greenery, take brief respite from all the activity going on around them. There are some existing public spaces, many of which are privately owned public spaces that are not especially inviting and are lacking seating. So as someone who spends a lot of time, walking around the neighborhood, I frequently struggle to find a quiet place to just sit and relax and take a moment. I noticed especially during my time at Hunter College, where the area around campus is particularly lacking in these kinds of spaces. This street seat proposal would reclaim an area currently serving only a small number of vehicles and transform it into a public space that benefits a much broader segment of the community. It would create opportunities for seating, greenery, gathering, and other community-oriented activities, and what is currently an underutilized section of roadway. Space would benefit both Hunter students and the surrounding neighborhood. And so I encourage the board to support this proposal, and thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dylan Brown. I'm the Vice President of the Placemakers Club. And as 2 weeks ago, a former student of Hunter College, Master's of Urban Planning. And I'm speaking in favor of the 69th Street street seats proposal. Given the work that we've done with Hunter and outreach in the community, it is very obvious that people want places to be in the neighborhood. I know you guys just celebrated the Knicks winning, saw everyone came together in these wonderful public spaces that you have in your neighborhoods. And everyone deserves a place like that, whether it's winning a basketball game or just going to enjoy a coffee. In my work, I previously worked in North Brooklyn during open streets, and I most recently managed the Long City Business Improvement District. And open space and public space is so critical to everyday life. It supports the businesses around it. It keeps people lingering. It's places to come together and share opinions that might be yours and gather culture for yourself. And I think 2 parking spaces is a good sacrifice for them. So thank you so much for your time.
All right, Jackson Espel, Pamela Conrad, and Rachel Skinner O'Neill.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Jackson Espel. I live on 59th Street, between First and Second. I'm a middle school history teacher, and, you know, I think the consensus among everyone who's spoken so far is the need for public spaces and third spaces. If you're not familiar, a third space is somewhere that's not your work or home that you can go to, without paying to be there. And I'm speaking in favor of the same place Lisa is speaking about, right across from Trader Joe's. There is a fenced-in area, that until you actually see it, you don't realize how big it is. And I think it would be a great benefit for public use, and, you know, no one, I think, in support of this project is very particular about what it has to be, whether it's for pets or, just seating, but I think it would be a great opportunity. It's a very busy intersection. If you've been to that Trader Joe's, I think it would be very beneficial to the community. And just a great place for people to spend time. And kind of, the place of respite, so, thank you.
Can you just identify specifically what area you're talking about? Is this the area that's owned by the Department of Transportation?
Not the part that's owned by the Department of Transportation, it's the area that was dug down into the water line, has those towers.
The DEP location.
DEP, yes.
Okay, that's. No?
It's DOT property with DEP in use with them. It's the end of the third water tunnel.
Oh, yeah, okay, it's the
And
water
when it
tunnel.
was put in, we were told by everyone, including DOT, that that property was to have no one or nothing on it without DEP's approval. It cannot be a park. I asked them again recently, just a month ago, and they have not changed their mind.
Right, that's why I was asking you about the
Sure.
location, because we have received inquiries from people.
Yeah.
And we did make the inquiries of DEP and DOT, and that's what we were told.
Yeah,
So-
the only thing I wanted to mention was that there have been similar areas that have those that have been drilled into the water line downtown that have been converted, so this isn't you know, something that hasn't been done before. If that is what the DEP said, then so be it, but I just, you
Okay,
know.
I mean, I'm happy to, if you wanna send me information about a location that you think is similar, I'm
Sure.
happy to look at it.
Awesome. Yeah, there's pictures of, you know, conversions look exactly the same.
Well, we don't have to get into the weeds,
Yeah,
but I'm
that's
just
not
saying.
the end of the water line.
Okay, well, that's what
Okay.
he's seen it, so we're happy to inquire with the information you have, so
Thank you.
contact us, thank you.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Now it's too high, so you can.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
My name is Pamela Conrad.
Sure.
I live on East 61st Street between Park and Lexington Avenue. I've lived there for 36 years. And I love my neighborhood very much. And all of a sudden, I find that there are like 3 dispensaries within feet of me. There's one on the corner of Lex. There's another one on the corner of on Lex between 61st and 62nd on the west side of the street. There's another one that just opened on the east side of 61st and 62nd Street. And I just feel like I'm living in a drug den, you know? And the place stinks of marijuana from morning to night, which I guess is allowed to be happening. But I didn't realize that the city allowed 3 marijuana dispensaries to be within, 10 feet of each other. And that's only to 62nd Street. So on Lexington,
So all I'm saying is, I don't know, you know, they put up like a placard that said, if you have a problem, go to the meeting, you know, voice your opinion. My opinion is, I don't smoke dope, I mean, everybody else is willing to smoke dope, they want to smoke dope, go for it. But I mean, it just seems like there's nothing but dispensaries around and it's a little upsetting.
Well, I appreciate you coming and I hear what you're saying and I think we're listening to what you're saying. I don't know that there are three, I mean, we'll look into it.
I have a picture of every single one of them.
Okay, give her a card, let us send them and we'll look at them because there are location laws, so they shouldn't be within 500 feet. Is Audrey here?
Audrey's on.
That's all.
Okay, no,
Audrey is
I
on
mean,
Zoom.
one of our representatives of the state senator, Liz Kruger.
I can
We,
unmute her.
well, I don't know, does she, I don't wanna put her on the spot, but does she wanna say something?
Audrey, you've got the unmute button. You can.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I am actually, because Senator Kruger is also on Zoom, so I am on Zoom tonight, but, if Ian, you can get this constituents information to me, I will call you tomorrow.
Wonderful.
Okay, super
Send it
duper.
my
Okay.
way.
Thanks for calling.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm usually there, but not tonight, because
No, that's okay.
the star is in.
I get it. We're getting to her quickly, but I'm glad she wanted to hear the public session first. Okay, library, right?
Yes, library. Hi, everybody. My name is Rachel Skinner O'Neill. I'm the manager of the Webster Public Branch, the New York Public Library. We are based on York Avenue between 77 and 78. I know some of you, I've seen some of you at the library. Last month I talked about bingo. Who's been in to get a bingo card? I'm not going for one person, okay. Come and get a bingo card, it's a summer reading challenge, there are some fun prizes. This month I wanted to talk to you about something that the library is going all in on. And there's a slight irony that it's been spoken about this, but the United States is going to be 250 years old, July 4, and the library is celebrating in a number of different ways. So the Schwartzman building, the line that you might know as the Line building, is going to have a projection of the Declaration of Independence written by Jefferson on the facade. We're going to be doing that all week, the 1st to the 7th of July. There is going to be a special exhibition, and at the Schwartzman building, but also at local libraries, including Webster and at my colleagues' libraries at Roosevelt Island and 96th Street. We have partnered, we've all got the libraries partnered with StoryCorps. Anybody know who StoryCorps is? Yes, no, well, some know, some shakes. I left a bunch of flyers outside. It's a way of recording your story, your reflection, what you're thinking about the state of the nation. Yep, we're actually inviting you in to come and chat, record, with the possibility that your story will be archived in the library's permanent collection. We've got bookmarks, so we've got lots of giveaways, and I hope that we will see you at the library. We're doing it at Webster every Friday in July. And if you check the calendars that my colleagues have left outside, the information comes there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We also have Liz Kruger coming to the Webster Library.
Getting a lot of play tonight. Okay.
All right, next up, Jonathan Dix and Sean Basinski.
Okay, hi, I'm Sean Basinski, thank you. I lived on 59th and First for 30 years. And every day I walk down 59th Street. In fact, there are two different city-owned lots there that are not being used. They're vacant. And a group of neighbors in Midtown East and around the 50s and lower 60s have organized now to get these reclaimed for the public. One is a DOT lot as mentioned, and one is a DEP lot. We have a petition with more than 700 signatures, and we have a letter of support from Julie Menon as well as Liz Kruger, Alex Borez. And we simply would like to be able to get this topic placed on the agenda of the relevant committee of the community board, because we think it would be something that the community board might support. we know that DOT and DEP are not simply gonna give up these lots for the asking. We'll need to pressure them over time, and one way to pressure them is by showing, a support from the community board. So that's what we've asked for, and that's what we're still gonna be asking for. And, some neighbors, I think, are gonna be on Zoom as well, asking the same thing. Because, we have a need for public space in the neighborhood, and if you didn't walk past it every day, you might not be so frustrated, but if you do, and saw those spaces sitting there unused, it might even compel you to come to a community board meeting and get involved. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jonathan Dix. I work with the Frick Collection. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm the head of visitor services. Some of you might be more familiar with Liz Daly. She's recently retired. So I just wanted to pass all the wonderful words she said about everyone here. And she's gonna miss coming next week as she did. So I just wanted to introduce the Frick Collection and myself. And if you haven't been to the Frick Collection, we've actually started this new program on First Fridays. So the first Friday of every month, we actually open our doors free to the public. It is a little bit of a hoot and a holler, but I totally recommend coming through to it. You can enjoy art and culture for free. We'll have jazz music, you can draw in the garden. There's lots of activities to participate in. If you just want to grab a drink, we have that too.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks very much. We look forward to seeing you often.
Excellent.
Thank you.
On to the Zoom portion of the evening, and joining us by phone, so no image for you on the screen, is Evelyn David.
All right, Evelyn, welcome. Where is she?
Evelyn, you should have a prompt to unmute. It may take just a moment. She's on the phone.
Evelyn? She's not familiar with the snow. Let's keep going.
All right, we'll come back to her. Okay, next up, we have Greg Martello. Greg? You should have a prompt to unmute.
Yes, I did.
Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Thank you to the chair and to the board. My name is Greg Patrick Martello. I'm a resident of Community Board 8. I live on 59th Street, and I'd like to add my voice to the support of the proposed creation of a small envelope park on 59th Street, right by the bridge. And I'd like to echo some of the other speakers that what we're asking for the board to do is to add to its agenda to give community board support for this project. The DEP and the DOT need pushing whenever they have property, even if they're not using it, which is the situation here. It's largely unused. And the community board at its finest is when it advocates for the people's interests. And here, it would be in our interest to restore public space. You know, to restore the classic turn of the century landmark, which the 59th Street Bridge is, would be a great thing for the community. I was just in San Francisco. The city leaders there restored the Fisherman's Wharf, and it's gratifying to see the city leaders act on behalf of the community that way. Here, if we had the community board's backing, we could restore this public space, and it is a restoration of the public space. It should be noted that decades ago, the area adjoining the 59th Street Bridge was all public space. It was recreation for the old, the young, for family. This space could be restored for the elderly, for children with young families. It would be pet friendly. It would not remove any parking spaces because there's already a bike lane there. So I would just ask the community board to put this on their agenda and support this very valuable project.
Thank you very much. And give me just one moment while I get back to my list here. Next up, we are going to hear from, forgive me, Bert Brasil. Right, Bert, in just a moment, you're going to have a prompt to unmute. Go ahead.
Okay, good evening. My name is Bart Brazel.
And I've lived at 200 East 90th with my family for the past 36 years. And it is adjacent to a proposed site at 1585 3rd Avenue of a homeless shelter. I'm concerned that this proposal has moved forward with little or no meaningful outreach to the residents who lived immediately next to the site. This is a densely populated residential neighborhood with families, such as myself. I have a 10-year-old daughter. My 27-year-old son has moved out. Children, seniors, and multiple schools, dance studios, and daycare facilities located within a short distance of the proposed shelter. While I support helping people experiencing homelessness, the location of services matters. Shelters should not be placed where shelters should be placed where residents can receive appropriate support and services while minimizing impacts on surrounding residential communities. The proposed site is directly adjacent to a long-established liquor store, which raises questions about whether this location is appropriate for a population that will include individuals struggling with substance abuse and mental health challenges. This boggles the mind that this would even be considered. The open plaza of 200 East 90th will become a gathering center for the residents who are unable to abide by curfew times and become a nocturnal high-crime area and public urinal. Residents are increasingly concerned about public safety and quality of life issues. There have been highly publicized assaults and other incidents reported within the 19th precinct over the past year, and many neighbors believe that there has been an increase in homeless-related disturbance. The community deserves clear data and transparency regarding these concerns. I personally have had to contact 911 over 5 times in the past 10 days. Before any approval moves forward, the city should provide a comprehensive safety plan, details on supportive services, staffing levels, security measures, and expected population to be housed at this facility. I'm not opposed to homeless shelters. I'm asking they be properly located, and there it goes, whatever.
Thank you.
I just want to ask you 2 questions. I mean, if you called 911 in the past, 10 times in the past 5 days, or whatever it is.
The opposite.
There's a homeless shelter near you right now, right?
No, and that's the point. Okay. Imagine if there is a homeless shelter located right next to my 10-year-old daughter's apartment building.
Okay, I want to speak specifically to this location for a moment, because we have received a lot of calls and emails. There is a specific process, and I've mentioned this at other meetings, but I'm happy to discuss it right now. There is a specific process that DHS follows with respect to the homeless.
I've communicated with them. They gave me nothing back.
Well, I'm gonna, if you allow me to answer.
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you. Here's the thing. Anyone in the city of New York who owns a piece of property can submit their property to DHS for consideration as a possible homeless shelter. The minute you put the application in, it is under consideration. That's all you need to do, is take your property, fill out the application, and send it to DHS. There are no timelines that DHS has to follow in terms of a specific location. There is no requirement that the DHS engage with the community board, with anybody about any location until they're ready to do it. You are perfectly within your rights to contact your electeds about it, but this is the process. So it is, I hate to say premature to even discuss this location, because I would venture a guess that there are more locations that have been submitted as possible sites. This one, I don't really know how people became aware of it, but I mean, you could walk around there. There were obviously sites that were under consideration that we didn't know about in the past until we received the notification. And I will point out that DHS is under no obligation to notify us within, is it 2 weeks before the shelter actually opens?
It's a little more than that.
Yeah, a little bit more than 2 weeks, but it's not like 6 months before. And there is no process for, other than a hearing that we would have once we receive the formal notification. That is it. And I can't tell you when the law was passed that this is the way it works, but this is the way it works. I understand your frustration, I understand your concern. You know, we've considered this with respect to other locations in Community District 8. And, when we get the notification, we will let you know. But, at this point, you know, there's nothing we can do. If you are against the shelter, and that is your right, I know that there are various petitions circulating, and you can contact your elected to let them know that you're against it as a location. I will tell you that, given that we are in an urban environment, it is more than likely that any shelter that is located will be near a liquor store, a preschool, a park, residences. There's no way around it. That's the way we live. But I understand your concern, so I don't want you to think that it's going unheard. But this is the process. I didn't make the law. I'm just trying to deal with it. Thank you. Okay, next up, please.
Dylan Kennedy.
Hi, my name is Dylan Geronimo Kennedy, and I'm a public member. I just wanted to voice my support for two different kind of third space open recreation locations in our district. I understand they are very different. We already have a resolution forward for the 69th Street public space improvements, and I think that's a wonderful idea, and I want to voice my complete support for it. I also understand that that is very different from the circumstance for 59th, where 59th there is a little bit of back and forth with DEP and DOT. But I think both of these give us opportunities for nice little pockets of greenery and seating. And I support both of them. I think one of them we are able to push a little bit faster along for 69th, but I think 59th is still an opportunity for us to make more resolutions, apply pressure to see if we can get as many of these great little pockets of community throughout our community as we can. So wanted to voice my support for both of those, understanding they're very different, but I think both of those give us lots of opportunities to make our community nicer. Thank you very much, and I hope you all have a good night.
Thanks, Dylan.
Carolyn King from Carnegie Hill Neighbors.
Hello, I'm Carolyn. I live in Community Board 8 and I work at Carnegie Hill Neighbors. We are the fiscal conduit for an effort to create a bid on a business improvement district in Yorkville, specifically along the East 86th Street corridor from Lexington Avenue to First Avenue, and then depending on the avenues, on the major avenues from 88th to 83rd approximately. The Business Improvement District will offer increased sanitation services, corner bin removal, 7 days a week, street sweeping, graffiti removal, snow removal at corners. We'll have foot patrols of safety officers, planters, more trees, and a dedicated full-time executive director who will advocate for the services the neighborhood needs and deserves. There's a wonderful opportunity. 86th Street has two parks, one on each end, and I'm envisioning a beautiful greenway with planters and businesses and shopping and cleanliness. And if you are in the boundaries, we are doing a public mailing shortly. You will receive a ballot, and I encourage you to please vote. We need to reach 20% support in order to hold a public meeting in the fall, and we are currently at 18%. We have Kybel, File, Empire State Realty, Extel, and Milstein on board as large property owners, as well as a handful of smaller commercial property owners and tenants and residents. And this bid is different. The residents will pay. So condo owners, co-op owners will pay into the assessment, which will take some of the burden off of commercial owners. So this is the fourth attempt to start a bid, but this is the first time that residents will be engaged fully in the process. So I encourage you to keep an eye out for the mailing and please vote in favor of the bid. Thank you.
Emanuela Grinberg.
Hi, thank you. I'm a resident of Roosevelt Island, and I wanted to thank Community Board 8 for contributing to the the inaugural Community Advisory Group that occurred today regarding the steam plant demolition. I just want to thank our electeds for getting this moving forward, and I want to thank fellow community members who sort of helped get it going. In case you missed it, it seems like there were some pretty big headlines that come out of the meeting today. One of them being that a stop work order has been issued due to the suspected presence of asbestos containing materials that were not previously detected in prior sweeps. And that this is pushing, but this could potentially, or this is going to push back the timeline for the actual demolition to start by 3 to 4 months. And I think this is just shows really why these types of meetings are essential and why the electeds advocacy on this has been essential, why CB8's advocacy on this is essential, and why the work of the community organizers, including the Architectural Alliance of Roosevelt Island, has been so essential. It's felt at many times that we were screaming into a void, but I think, again, this just shows that the system is kind of working when we demand transparency and we get it. So I want to thank everyone who contributed to that, and we still have a long way to go. But just to the community members who feel like, we've kind of been spinning our wheels and wasting our time with, this effort. I think this just goes to show why these efforts are so necessary, and it is working. So we just ask Community Board 8 to keep staying involved and participating in the CAGs, and whatever you can do to facilitate the fast and easy flow of information coming out of these meetings, please do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the report on the CAG today, and appreciate your kind comments. Thank you.
Kaylin Presnichki. Kaylin, go ahead.
Yep. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Just a second, let me make sure if you can see me. Okay.
Yep.
Are you the
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you to Community Board 8 for taking part in today's first Community Advisory Group meeting. And thank you to the offices of our elected officials, Speaker Manning, Senator Kruger, Assembly Member Seawright, and Representative Jerry Nadler. Because of your initiative, this meeting happened. What we learned today. First, on June 12th, Department of Environmental Protection issued a full stop work order at the steam plant. It found that the asbestos work was being done in violation of the city's asbestos rules and that it poses a threat to human safety. And it bars all work until a complete asbestos survey of the entire work area is submitted and approved by DEP. The community was never notified. 7 days later, no one on Roosevelt Island, almost no one, knows that what was done so far for the last several weeks as asbestos abatement was violating the safety rules of DEP. And when the education director of the Roosevelt Island Day Nursery asked, located across the demolition site, asked how the children's, infants and toddlers at their kindergarten will be kept safe, HPD gave no real answer. They said they will circle back close to demolition. Our questions about potential lead exposure went unaddressed. The second thing that we learned is that the format and frequency of the CAG meetings are not matching the urgency. We submitted 12 questions last Friday. We haven't received a single answer yet. We need these meetings weekly, and we need them open to the public. So my question is, will CB8 and our elected officials support these asks?
Okay, well, thank you. They're on the line, so we'll see. But I think we have positive movement forward, and you can see the results of community action. So that's all positive. I don't think you should be surprised that you didn't get answers to your questions today, but that doesn't mean they're not going to get answered. Okay, who's next?
Evelyn David has returned.
All right, Evelyn, I can't even imagine what you're going to talk about today.
Evelyn, there you go.
Oh, I made it. Yay, bravo. Thank you so much. I did come back. Yes, I have actually found the person that is in charge of summer streets, and I'm not going to bore you with this, but I just sent him an email because, yay, his name is Kenny Placencio. Anyway, I have his email. I've sent him a message asking him sort of very nicely to give me a buzz, and kind of breezed over the fact that, you know, what happened last summer, and I sort of said, as you know, there was a problem. Then that's all, right? So I was trying to be diplomatic. So just letting you know, I've got the contact, all right?
All right, and now everybody knows about Kenny.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Right.
keep us apprised of everything that's happening, okay?
Yes, I will. Yes, I definitely will. Yes. Yes, they're not going to do, I mean, hopefully they will not do this again. That was crazy. Okay, thank you very much, and I'm not going to take any more time. Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Always wonderful
Okay,
to have you.
right, okay. Okay,
Thank you.
all right, bye. Yes, to be continued. Bye. Yep.
Susan Blackwell.
Bye.
Susan,
Here I am.
go ahead.
I live in the district just south of you, but I spend a lot of time in CB8. And
Good for you.
I beg your pardon?
And good for you. I'm happy that you come into our district a lot.
Yes, you can find me on the East River most days, digging in the dirt. And I'm here in support of the open spaces that aren't open on 59th Street. I've walked those spaces with Mr. Basinski. They are really interesting, especially the one that's towards Second Avenue. That could be a spectacular little pocket park. And the one right on 59th Street, I've seen the space down on that's next door to the Merchant House Museum, which is the same kind of thing with these things that go to the water system. And it's this lovely space. So it can be done. So I'm asking the community board to please put some pressure on these guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, Sandra Davies is next. Sandra, you'll have a prompt to unmute now.
Okay, I guess I'm unmuted. I live at 90th and Lex, which is sort of near the proposed homeless shelter. And have never been or seen a shelter, so I have no idea what really happens to the neighborhood or the people who live there. But I would have a concern that probably everybody has a clutch of people milling around with not much to do. And I was thinking, so this is just an idea, and maybe it's already in every single shelter that exists. But my thought was, when anybody builds a shelter, that it have either a garden backyard or a central court with trees and plants and benches, so that all the milling around of the people who are going to eventually apparently spend the night have an internal place in the facility to go to that would be nicer for them, and theoretically maybe solve one of the problems that communities feel when people are just hanging out, waiting apparently for entrance. So that was this is an idea. It's not for or against. Thank you. And thank Liz Kruger for her helpful or informative newsletters. I appreciate those.
Thank you.
Just a little FYI, many of the shelters have roof spaces for people who are housed there. I don't really, I recommend that you go to Park Avenue at 67th Street and see if you see a lot of people milling around, because I don't think you will see a lot of people milling around. I'm not going to name all the homeless shelters that are in our neighborhood, but they are there. And the fact that you are unaware of them is fantastic. And hopefully that will be how it goes when we do have homeless shelters. I just want to reiterate, as Audrey Channon said at one of our meetings, maybe 2 meetings ago, there are many homeless people or unhoused people who are unhoused, not because they don't have jobs, but because they can't afford to live in their homes. And these shelters provide necessary temporary spaces until the city can find the permanent housing. And so I think as part of our mission, we have always said that we are for affordable housing, and the support of these shelters is part of that. So I appreciate all the concerns that are being said. I think if you want to contact me, I can tell you where they are. I'm not going to say them out loud. They're in public space for the privacy of the people who live there. But I think you will be pleasantly surprised. Thank you for coming this evening.
Zora Voyacheva.
Hello, everybody. My name is Zora Boyajeva. Thank you for pronouncing my name correctly.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you. I'm here on behalf of ARCRI, Architectural Community Alliance of Roosevelt Island. I want to thank everybody that helped us get to today's Community Advisory Group meeting, the first one. I'm really excited and I'm really grateful because this process of working together gives results, obviously. I want to thank the CB8 members, the elected officials. The first meeting is a fact, okay? But we still don't have the information that we need to feel safe. We heard today that there is a stop work order for asbestos material that was improperly handled. Something that me as an architect, as a licensed architect, suspected for a long time from the beginning, since the asbestos investigation on the premises was basically done by HPD. So HPD was investigating HPD itself, which is not a good practice. So this was to be expected, an expected result. And it makes me very, very concerned because besides being ARCRI director and an architect, I'm also a mother that's raising her children on the island. Today, we didn't get answers about is there lead present on the premises, which statistically, as an architect, I know there is. A building built in the 50s contains a lot of lead. So we know asbestos is handled improperly. We know there is lead on the premises. We know there are other carcinogens because they were found on adjacent properties like the Cornell site. And we still don't have the proper information. We still don't feel safe. We don't know if we are protected. So my question is, are you going to support us in our quest for new independent testing to be done to confirm that the site is safe for the public? We would like to get information about soil tests that are previously done on this site. We would like independent perimeter air monitoring in place before any work is allowed. We would like to get. I'm
Zora,
almost
I'm
done.
afraid. Oh.
Okay. Just two more words. I apologize. We would like to get the DEP required survey on the site to be made public so we know what our children are breathing from this air. My question for the elected officials and for you guys on CB8, are you going to support us to request in writing all these safety materials from the city agencies?
Okay, thank you, Zora. We're really lucky tonight because we have a couple of electeds.
Wait, we got one more.
Oh, I think
One
I
more.
asked you. Okay.
Oh, no, that's,
That's it.
I will say briefly, Zora, yes, and I was on that CAG meeting this morning and I was heartened to learn also that HPD is paying for independent third-party testing as well. And we can connect after this and I'm happy to talk more. Last on our list today is Anita Harilowitz. Forgive me, Anita. Go ahead.
It was almost right, Havrilevich. I live on Lexington Avenue and 89th Street, and I'm also extremely concerned about the proposed shelter. I'm a mother of two children. My children are 9 and 10, and they go to their activities around the block of 3rd Avenue and 89th Street a lot. I walk them. Sometimes they come back by themselves. It just it's a lot of to think about the future neighborhood if that proposed idea will go through.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Okay, now are we officially ending?
We are ending the public.
Okay, great. So it's so great that everyone is weighing in here tonight on a variety of opinions because for the first time since January 1, we have a representative of the mayor listening in from the very popular Office of Mass Engagement. And so I know he's on Zoom, and so I hope that he is listening because what we're talking about in terms of transparency of shelter placement, et cetera, is all within the mayoral agencies. So, Mr. Lattimore, I welcome you tonight to your first Community Board 8 meeting. And I hope that you will take back directly to our mayor, maybe before the parade tomorrow, that we are very interested in engaging with the mayoral agencies on these issues. And we'd rather do it sooner than later. So if he or somebody from DHS, which he controls, would be happy to come and talk to us about whether and who is under consideration, we would be most happy to set up that meeting so that the community can have a voice in the siting of shelters. So I hope you're listening, and please take that back. Thank you. Okay, so now we'll go to the other electeds, which we are full of tonight, very happily. I'm going to go to Liz Kruger, State Senator Liz Kruger, who has been listening on Zoom. Liz, we're so happy to have you with us here tonight. You look fantastic.
Thank you very much. I hope everyone can hear me. Hi, I'm Liz Kruger, your state senator. I did have a stroke a couple of months ago, but rumors of my demise are greatly exaggerated. I'm actually feeling terrific. I've been out on the streets and pretty much continuing all my work now, including at the last couple of weeks of session and passing quite a few bills I'm very proud of. I hope everybody has my bulletin. I'm not going to spend time reading you the bulletin. I do want to, make sure everybody does know Audrey Tannen, amazing manager of my district office, resident of Roosevelt Island, and generally knowledgeable about almost anything that goes on and keeps me up to date. So thank you, Audrey, for your work. She wanted me to remember to tell you that we're doing ongoing mobile constituent hours at libraries throughout my district during the summer. Mobile legal services with New York Legal Assistance Group on June 30th and July 30th. A Zoom town hall July 21st on recent complicated and significant changes to federal student loan paybacks. Huge numbers of people in the district owe a lot of money on federal student loans, and the current federal government keeps changing the rules of the road, making it very confusing. So we want to make sure people get updates on that. Of course, always feel that you should reach out to my office and my staff on any issue you want us to talk about. Just noting a few things that came up even in today's meeting. Cannabis. I looked up, there's only one legal store on 2nd near 62nd. So please, whoever was talking at the time, let us know the addresses. And anyone else who thinks there are illegal stores in the district, please let us know. I also just learned the other day, and I've already got them taken out of some stores, there are some independent food stores who are starting to sell in their drink section where they are allowed to sell these alcoholic, I don't know what you call them, these alcoholic seltzers and other kinds of drinks that are not beer, but it's sold in the same section. Some of them have started to stock cans of what are called THC drinks that have both THC and cannabis in them, right there on the labels. That is not legal in New York State to be sold anywhere. So if you see that going on in any store in your neighborhood, please let us know, because we've been having Office of Cannabis Management go out and immediately tell the stores, this is not legal, you may not carry this. But the fact that we found one store on the west side of my district that must have had 8 different kinds of these drinks, there's clearly a whole illegal market going on to move these into all kinds of stores. I know we're the east side here on CB8. My district goes all the way over to Penn Station and Chelsea, and of course, Roosevelt Island. And today I had a very long meeting with the federal government and Amtrak over the Penn Station redevelopment. And some of you will laugh and go, we've been talking about that for 30 years, Liz. And I will agree, we've been talking about that for 30 years. But it is the largest transportation hub in the country. 800,000 people go through it every day. And any of you who have gone through it recently know it's pretty sad, pretty scary, pretty unsafe in some places. So an RFP process has been going forward. A company has been awarded. People might remember Andy Byford when he was with the MTA. We called him Train Daddy. He is now overseeing this project for Amtrak. And I have to say, they did a presentation today. And if it actually happens, we're all going to be very excited about it. Of course, there are endless details, like who's going to pay for it. And this will take years and years, but for those of you who are concerned about transportation issues and the Midtown corridor, there's some exciting stuff, I think, on the horizon. And I probably went longer than I'm even supposed to, Valerie.
No, you're right on time.
I'm right on time. I don't know if you want to allow me to take questions or that's against the rule.
I think not, but we appreciate you coming and look forward to seeing you here in person, but you can look at yourself on the video, you look fantastic. So happy to have you. All right, we're going and people are giving you the hands up, so it's a resounding yes.
All right.
Okay, in the room, we'll go to Rebecca Seawright and thank Councilmember Maloney for her patience. She's up after that. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Good evening. It's great to join you tonight and to finally be out of Albany from a very productive legislative session. And I have a new staff member here this evening. I'm going to invite Adam up and introduce him. He was born and raised in the neighborhood and spent this last session in Albany working for Representative Carroll. He's a graduate of Stuyvesant High School and a product of the public schools in New York City and SUNY Albany, our public university. So, Adam, we're great to have you tonight and on staff. Thank you, Valerie, for your leadership, and Ian McKnight, and to you, all of the community board members. I also want to congratulate Lavinia and is it Gopi? The 2 new members, raise your hand. I haven't met you, so welcome to Community Board 8. Is Sherry Wiener here tonight?
Actually, no.
I want to give a shout out and thank her for her service to Community Board 8. This legislative session has been particularly productive, especially for older adults. As you know, I chair the Committee on Aging, and one of our top priorities was to pass the SCREE bill. So we got that included in the budget, raising the threshold from 50,000 to 75,000. I see Marlene back there cheering. I know she worked very hard on that. I also see John McClintock from my office, a great volunteer. John, it's good to see you. The state budget also made major investment services for people, funding increased independent living centers, adult literacy programs, home and community-based services, and family caregiver services. And you've heard a lot tonight about the CAG meeting for the steam plant on Roosevelt Island. We were glad to fight for that creation along with our other electeds, and we'll be keeping you up to date as those meetings progress. It's great to see my colleague, Virginia Maloney here from the council. Congratulations on the opening of your new office location. And I was also proud to support Francesco's law. We worked for 2 sessions to get this law through. It was named after a young man that had committed suicide who'd been bullied in school. And so that requires safe storage of firearms that are legally held in the home. So we were very pleased to name that law after him and get it passed. I'll quote the scripture, "Blessed are the brief, for they shall be invited back." I want to invite all of you to our wedding. It's Wednesday, June 24th, located right in front of our office. Thanks so much.
Thank you for coming. Happy to have you. All right, Councilmember Maloney, up and back.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Valerie. And hi, everybody. Thank you all for your work on this community board. So as Assemblywoman Seabright just said, I left my open house to be here. Our office is on 420 Lexington Avenue, the Gray Bar Building. So come on by, and we're really excited to have constituents come through. And this furthers my attempt at being in two places at once. So I'm glad I could be here with all of you. And we have a few more virtual events coming up for the summer. The first is going to be, oh, actually not virtual. So July 9th, we are kicking off office hours for veterans in our office. So any constituent issues, we're going to have experts from the Veteran Affairs Office from 9 to 5. And it's going to be on the second Thursday of every month throughout the year. And another event I wanted to invite you all to is around demystifying artificial intelligence, a hot topic and something that I personally care a lot about. So we are going to have a virtual event on July 13th with Beta MIC called AI 101. No tech experience required, but a way to get more familiar with the tools and understand what's happening. And I know that our Assemblyman Alex Flores has been doing fantastic work on the AI front as well. And before you ask, no, I don't know how to get a Knicks ticket. That has been the frequently asked question in our office. But very excited for celebrating what's going to be going on this week. And even if you aren't a Knicks fan, you can appreciate the $100 million economic boon that's estimated by each home game. As chair of economic development, I'm very excited about that. And we also have the World Cup going on, where the city council was laser focused on making sure that the cup and all the activities around it deliver for our businesses and our communities, and that we can all participate. So we have a free fan festival in Rock Center, and had a street naming with Thierry Henry, who's a soccer player. I did not know who he was before, but now we have a street named after him. And we also got to see some of our legislation passed. So the New York City passport, which encourages people to go to all 5 boroughs and local businesses, is now been printed and is in the hands of New Yorkers and tourists. So it's exciting a few months later to see that. Budget has been a big focus for the council. We are glad we got the state budget and are now trying to close negotiations between now and June 30th. A budget is a reflection of values, and we're working hard to make sure that those values are reflected, and nothing is more important than our youth. And I know this community has been very vocal about the DYCD decision to remove Manhattan Youth as an after-school program for some key schools in our district. And I've been working closely with Speaker Menon and other elected officials in the Manhattan area to make sure we advocate for these beloved programs. We pressed the city to at least give us transparency on the questions that remain unanswered, what data went into these decisions, and are going to continue to work with DYCD to engage directly with the affected schools. So I didn't want to speak about that. On the budget front, or on the legislative front, if I still have time.
Yeah.
Okay. We are focused on public safety. I mentioned that my first bill was on strengthening emergency planning and coordination between houses of worship and NYPD. And I was proud to stand with Kathy Hochul a few weeks ago when she signed the buffer zone legislation protecting the right to worship free from harassment and intimidation. I even got a pen. And the council is working on our own version of this bill to help protect religious institutions, which it's one more bill as part of the anti-Semitism package that we're working on, and that would extend these protections to schools like the 92nd Street Y. So we're still focused on public safety issues. And I know this community is very concerned about public safety in our streets. One of my bills is Intro 1312, which would establish a 15-mile-per-hour speed limit for e-bikes citywide and make that an official law. And coupled with enforcement. So I'm a co-sponsor of Priscilla's Law, which would require licensing and registration. On the small business front, I want to thank Alita, but this community board for helping with the legacy business bill. So we have Intro 0197, which I just introduced, which is going to help longstanding neighborhood businesses that are such core parts of our community and create both a registry and also a preservation fund so we can keep these community businesses going, as well as transparency bills to try to make it easier to navigate the permit system of government. Government shouldn't be getting in the way. One bill, I'm calling the stop clock bill, since it's next season, would bring greater transparency to the permitting process where you would have a date and a countdown from when your permit would be approved. We all know that time is money and you need predictability with, especially as a small business. And a red tape bill that would cut down the time to opening up a new business by 2 to 3 months by streamlining the permitting process. So those are some of the things on the economic development side we're working on. We have a newsletter that goes out monthly electronically, and then there's a physical one outside. So if you aren't getting our newsletters, please do sign up. And I know we've also been very focused on sanitation issues and are going to be meeting with the community boards group tomorrow on sanitation to look at where the hotspots are in our district and how our community, how our district can show up for the community. So thank you again for the invitation.
Thank you. Thanks for coming tonight. Okay, is Survival here? Oh, there she is, sorry. Okay, borough president, and then if you are representing an elected, would all be elected in the room? If you want to line up, and then we'll hear from everybody.
Good evening, everyone. This is Saliva from Manhattan Borough President's Office, your community liaison. First of all, congratulations to the new board members, Gopi as well as Lavinia. So first of all, happy Pride, happy Knicks, happy World Cup, and new board members. Wow, lots to celebrate. Lots to celebrate, and that's a great time to be in the city. So simply, our office hosted with Whitney for Pride to provide complimentary tickets from 1 to 5 p.m. on June 5th as part of Whitney's Free Friday Nights. Yesterday, we launched our Manhattan Borough Book Club with the borough historian, Harold Holzer. The book that was up for discussion was The Island at the Center of the World, the epic story of Dutch Manhattan and the forgotten colony that shaped America at the New York Historical Society. And for this,
It's an excellent book.
Elizabeth Rose and I were there.
Valerie recommends it. For June, you're looking forward to marching with the borough president, your first openly gay borough president for the New York City Pride Parade. Woo! June 28th at noon, and if you are interested in marching, please reach out to me. Maybe I can get you on the float. And meeting time is 9:30 in the morning, so be ready for that. Our office's gallery has partnered with MoCA for an exhibit of photographs and maps of Chinatown throughout the ages. It is not your typical boring exhibit. Please come by at 1 Center Street to see it. And if you're interested in, dedicating some time, just reach out to me. Join us on June 27th for the watch party for Portugal versus Colombia at the United Palace at 7:30 p.m. Reach out to me. There's flyers outside. And then lastly, I do have my wonderful 2 interns that are joining tonight. Mohammed and Eliza, please raise your hands. Yay! That's, so yeah, they're here in the field. Thank you so much, CB, Valerie, Ian, for welcoming us. And shout out to Mohammed for going to country college, and shout out to Eliza for joining us at the Isaac Community Day, as well as we tabled at the Relock Day. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming. Very positive report. I love it. And they're like, welcome, Hannah.
Hi, I'm Hannah Weaver from Congressman Mather's office, and I will retread on anything that people discuss. The one thing I will say is about the Penn Station redevelopment. There's a lot of red flags around the process. There's been really no transparency into the overall cost, who will pay for this unknown price. And really the concern that we have is that there's no major input from the MTA or key stakeholders, and also no public proposal on which land will be used and for what purposes now or later. So we want to make sure that New Yorkers' voices are not muted from the discussion, that you who use Penn Station, the millions of visitors that come in and out, the people that commute from work, we want to make sure that all of your voices are represented in this conversation, and that, you know, your hard-earned dollars are protected from any corrupt efforts that could be involved in Penn Station. So I just wanted to flag that. The other thing, especially during Pride Month, Congressman Nadler led a letter along with other New York Democrats urging NYU Langone to fight against the recent subpoenas from the Trump administration that would violate the constitutional right to privacy for minors, for minor patients receiving gender-affirming care from NYU Langone. So additionally, he has also spoken out against Mount Sinai's recent decision to share trans children's records with the federal government. The administration is on a full crusade to violate the personal dignity and constitutionally guaranteed rights of transgender people in New York 12 and across the country. So we will continue to fight to protect trans youth and from the unlawful attack and ensure they're provided their necessary care. The last thing I want to say is a little early, but the Congressional App Challenge is officially underway. The deadline is not until October 26th, so I'll come back in the fall and reiterate all of this, but I just want to app. Yeah, so there's a Congressional App Challenge, so students have the opportunity to create an app, and they compete with one another, and then they get the winning app will be deployed in the displayed in the U.S. Capitol building and featured on the House of Representatives website. So all the information will be on our website at mather.house.gov. I will reiterate it later in the fall, but it's open to students who live or go to school in the New York 12th District. Thank you so much and have a lovely June.
Thank you. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Jordan Paulette. I'm from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. First off, this past Saturday, in partnership with the NYPD, our office hosted a gun buyback event where community members could turn in their firearms for a prepaid gift card. This was our most successful gun buyback. We got 147 firearms, including 8 AR-15s, which is crazy. So our streets are safer, knowing that 147 firearms are out of hands. And lastly, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg announced today the indictment of Andrea Marshall, an owner of the luxury clothing brand Salon 1884 LLC, for allegedly exploiting her employees by requiring them to work extensive hours while stealing approximately $54,000 in their wages between August 2023 and June 2026. Marshall and Salon 1884 are each charged in a New York State Supreme Court indictment with 1 count of grand larceny in the 2nd degree, 1 count of scheme to defraud in the 1st degree, and 1 count of effective failure to secure compensation, and 5 counts of failure to pay wages in accordance to labor law. Salon 1884 sold garments often for thousands of dollars to luxury retailers and online platforms, including Neiman Marcus and Edinburgh. That's all from me today. Thank you. Thanks for coming. All right. Welcome in person.
Hi, all.
It's nice to see you.
Good to see you all. I'm Carolyn, Director of Constituent Services for Speaker Menon. So the 71st Street pedestrian bridge to the East River Esplanade opened this week. Yay! The section between East 70th and 78th will be completed in phases this fall. As some folks mentioned, this morning was the first steam plant demolition community advisory group meeting. Senior officials from HPD and DOB joined to share project updates and answer questions from the group members, including our very own Community Board 8. Asbestos abatement will continue for the next couple months. We know air quality has been a big concern. REOC is sharing third-party air monitoring reports on the website. Just want to clarify, no airborne asbestos has been detected. We are hoping that this will become a useful channel for keeping the community informed. We've heard from hundreds of families, as Councilmember Maloney mentioned, we've heard from hundreds of families about the Department of Youth and Community Development's decision to switch popular after-school providers. After-school programs are an essential part of our school, and these vendors had broad support from parents and principals. The speaker met with DYCD on Monday, held a rally demanding greater transparency into how these contracts were awarded. Principals were never even given an opportunity to meet with these new providers. As was discussed, the speaker is still negotiating the city budget. Just want to mention one proposal I'm personally excited about. Last week, she announced a proposal to build affordable housing on top of the aging libraries. Finally, I'll mention a few sort of hyper-local constituent services wins. Our team helped a neighborhood coffee shop navigate permitting issues. We connected constituents to unemployment benefits, connected seniors to Carter Burden home care, and got 2 derelict bikes removed that had been locked to a pole for 3 years. Thanks all.
Thank you. Well done.
It's a great bike block.
Welcome back. Okay, graduate, you're back.
All right, when I say CB, you say 8. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm Julie Rowland. I'm the district director for Assemblymember Alex Boris. I'm saying that to our new folks, and thank you so much for your civic engagement. I thought because you guys are all the best volunteers in the city giving your time to this, why not a little bit of magic? Also, Jordan asked me to. So there's 2 quick magic tricks that I've got planned for you guys. Real quick, would you just tell me when to stop, please? You say stop at any time. Stop here. All right. If you take that top card, please show it to everyone. You can all see it. It's all right. That was just a quickie. It's this. It's the Ace of Hearts. We already got that one.
Whoa.
Right? That's just the warm up. It's a shuffle deck though, okay? Because I know. So we're gonna do a slightly more difficult one now. Oh, would you tell me when to stop, please? Right here. Or would you take that? Everyone can memorize it. This one's for real. Don't memorize it. Don't tell me what it is.
Hold it up.
Hold it up so everyone can see.
Okay.
Show the camera, show the camera.
But when you guys say the Ace of Hearts, that really stands for Alex Boris loves all of you guys. But you memorized this card? Yeah. Okay, would you throw it anywhere in the deck, please?
Just point.
Anywhere you want. No, put it down.
Put-
Your card in the deck. That's the hardest
Oh, you
part,
just have
following
this
the
magic.
instructions.
I'm shuffling it into the deck without looking kind of impressive. At the end of that shuffle, would anyone be impressed if it was the top card?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good, 3 of you, which is crazy. None of you can do that. But I thought, wouldn't it be more impressive if it weren't in the deck at all anymore? It made its way. Actually, would you mind please just flipping over my journal? Ian, is it right there? There's a card, would you hold it up? Is it the Queen of Diamonds? And you know, I consider Valerie Mason to be the Queen of Diamonds. All right.
Wow. Okay.
Now, my to-do list for announcements, to-do, ta-da, I can check that off, right? But the other thing is, if you're like, tomorrow morning, I just want to celebrate community with New York, greatest city on earth, I want to be together with everyone, where could I go to find that community and that real joy of this city? Come to our Shred Truck event. Right. I know there's a lot of competing invitations that might try to lure you, but from 9 a.m. till 12 o'clock noon, for free, you can come dispose of all of your secure documents that have social security numbers, shred those tax files, shred, you know, the things that'll incriminate you, shred them all. Come to our office and shred them. That'll be probably we've been doing monthly shred trucks, but we gave you 2 in June because we'll probably give a break in July. Last thing is, in his very last day in the assembly, on the floor, Alex got passed unanimously a new bill to protect our kids from chatbots. It's A10379. This is just to say that chatbots should, if they know that they're talking to someone under 18, they should not be able to coach them to self-harm. They should not be fake companions. The things that we cannot believe are not already the law, but now it's passed through the assembly, it's passed through the Senate, it will go to the governor. So that is what your assembly member has been doing for you in Albany. Please have a great summer, and I'll be here till the end. Yeah.
All right, the next time is flip those cards and find the funding for Penn Station, right?
Bravo.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. So now, we're gonna go back to number 1, which is, motion to adopt the agenda. Okay, everyone in favor? Great. Motion to adopt the minutes from the last meeting. Okay, everyone in favor? Okay, super duper. So here I am with the chairman's report. Here we go. Number 1, we had an amazing art show, and I just want to thank Alita Camp and her team for putting this together with John Kraus really supporting it. It seems like every time we plan an art show, you can guarantee that it's gonna be 95 degrees outside. So keep that in your calendar as, it was, this is the first one I missed and I'm not gonna miss another one. It was amazing. You can see the photos. We have some photos up. Just a great day for community, for CB8, once again, featuring our local artists and just creating a great day for the community. And again, we really appreciate it, Alita. We know that the sashes made a really big difference. I mean, if you haven't seen the Community Board 8 sash, you're missing out. They're terrific. Even Wilma had one at one event, so we're gonna break them out for our street fairs. We're gonna break them out everywhere, so everybody knows who they are. I want to welcome our two new board members, Lavinia and Gopi. And I want to say a big shout out to Sherry Wiener, who did a lot of service. I mean, next season is going to be really different. We're going to have 15 or I think 8 new members at least. So this is going to be like a big first for CB8. So get ready for the rollover. Couple of other items. I want to give a big shout out to the Muslim Volunteers of New York, who had a great planting event on Saturday, which thanks to Sahar, I planted 2 plants. I'm gonna watch those forever. Yeah. And also Addison Lev was there and Ian McKnight. It was a really nice turnout from CB8, and this Muslim volunteers do a phenomenal stewardship of that park. It's an amazing group. It not only is local community members, but people come from all over. Someone came from Princeton. And and it is just a great feeling of community. And with all the work that Muslim volunteers do in Rupert, we can't wait for the park to be upgraded. So looking forward to that too, but I wanted to mention it. Couple of things. On Monday, I did a walkthrough with Councilmember Menon, aka the Speaker, and Mike Flynn, the new Commissioner of the Department of Transportation, and we did a walkthrough of Third Avenue to take a look at if the 15-mile-per-hour speed limit is making any difference. As with all the walkthroughs that I do, when you do a walkthrough, it turns out like it's like the Twilight Zone, and it's never the street that you see 24 hours a day for the rest of the time. I mean, Frank's been on one of those with me when we were on York Avenue and there wasn't one car for 2 hours. I mean, it's like crazy. But I think we had a really good meeting. Daniel Zuckerman, who's the Borough Commissioner of DOT, was there. And what we saw was cars bunching up with no cars for like 3 blocks and then complete congestion. And then we saw bikes that were just riding everywhere where there were no cars. And the 15-mile-an-hour speed limit was supposed to be making people stop at the red light and continue at a consistent pace. Commissioner Flynn saw that that was not the case. And it also had an effect of creating this false sense for pedestrians, because there were no cars in the non-bunched up areas, that they could just walk across the middle of the street. So the speaker remarked that we're not really sure that this is working, and I think the commissioner was listening, and we'll see where that goes. The other thing we want to talk about, everybody's been talking about Roosevelt Island. It was really great that the electeds could get together this CAG to start moving forward. And we hope that that's going to continue, and we hope that the mayoral agencies, if you're listening, will be responsive to the concerns of the Roosevelt Islanders and members of CB8. Another thing I want to mention, just for our members, there is a minor modification coming up with respect to 800 Fifth Avenue. That is going to be a land use matter, which we think may be combined with our July meeting. So I just want to put that out there.
DCP signed off today. So
Okay, DCP, it will officially be on our, we just got the sign off this morning. It'll officially be on our July full board calendar, so we hope you'll show up for that. We'll circulate the materials. They're reducing the number of units in the building. Yes, further reduction of units in the building, just because we need more housing. And, no editorial there. And, they had 150 parking spaces in the building, and they're gonna take it down to 60, right outside the congestion pricing though. That's, terrific. But anyway, that's what's happening with that. I just wanna say a little bit more about 89th Street. We continue to tell you, and this so-called proposed shelter, please keep talking to your elected officials. We don't see it on the calendar anywhere soon. It may happen, it may not. I can't be any more responsive than that. And then I want to talk about the proposed, protected bike lane for East 72nd Street. I attended the community board meeting at CB7, which we should always go to somebody else's community board and see how it's done. I like it better here, actually. But anyway, it was a very split vote. The vote was 26 in favor of the DOT proposal with 19 against. It was very interesting because many of the longstanding members were not in favor of the proposal, didn't think that it still had been worked out, wasn't in line with what West Siders were asking for in respect of West 72nd Street. And interestingly enough, it was the first meeting for 7 new board members, and 6 of them voted in favor of it, and they had not been to a meeting before that. So it was very interesting. I will tell you that right after the meeting, there was also a lot of talk that it was premature to even discuss it, because there was a walkthrough happening on Friday. And everybody was like, why are we talking about this when there's gonna be another DOT walkthrough? So, as part of this walkthrough on Third Avenue, I was talking to, Commissioner Zuckerman, and, she said they're still working on their design. I will tell you that there has been, Craig can validate this, we have been constantly asking about what the proposal is for East 72nd Street. Danielle Zuckerman told me on Monday, she still hasn't seen it. So, it's still in the works. I don't know what it is. And it could be totally different than what's on the west side. I will say that unlike the west side, the east side has had a pair of crosstown bike lanes on 71st and 70th Street for 10 years. So that's one difference between us and them. So, it was very funny because there were a lot of comments that night about, why are we considering this before CB8? Like, and, the DOT didn't show up for that meeting. So anyway, that's the update on that. I just want to say that, I want to thank our staff who's been handling a lot of constituent services. The upgrade of all of our systems continues, and it's very positive. We have a great group, and I'm very lucky to be the chair at this time. And I think that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, I do want to say something else. Tomorrow night, we're having a great meeting of our sanitation committee. And we circulated a survey in the community, and Sahara's been working very hard on putting together the results of that. We hope to get as many people to come out tomorrow in conjunction with Councilmember Melanie mentioned it as well, to talk about sanitation hotspots. Just for those who are interested in the room, as we were walking up Third Avenue, we did pass by Uri's, which has been a very hot button location. I mean, I have to be honest, it was filthy outside. And it wasn't that the tables were beyond where they were sited, but where all the tables were sited used to be where they kept their shopping carts. And now their shopping carts are just kept right on the sidewalk, in between the tree pits. The commissioner noted that, and she said, she's still looking into what's going on there, but there was a lot of garbage. And, I think, I don't want to say the placement of the cars was inappropriate, so she's looking into all that, she took a lot of pictures. That issue goes on. I know that, I did speak with, Inspector Lazarus, and they have, they are policing, just like they would police any other location in terms of double parking, et cetera. But I just thought I would mention that. Okay, let's move on.
All right.
DM?
Yep. For those of you who are not, looking forward to, well, but you can probably do both, the shredding event tomorrow and, probably mutually exclusive, the Regents exam in biology, but otherwise, nyc.gov/Nix has all the information you need to know if you are going downtown to celebrate the Knickerbockers, where many streets, I am told, will be closed, and sanitation is ready to clean up an amount of paper that, measured in pounds, certainly has a comma in it, but I forget the specific number. It will be very impressive just to see the cleanup if you make it late. I want to thank Gail and Felice on the budget committee who have been very helpful. The city's fiscal year ends at the end of this month. I got to attend a wonderful, thrilling event with the Comptroller's Bureau of Accountancy, which I am happy to provide you with an update, but I don't think you all would enjoy it now. On the personnel front, I want to welcome David Zaporta, who is our summer intern, seated there in the back, and has done a very nice job in our office. You'll notice we have no executive session for the first time in a while, and that's because I'm excited to tell you that we have a community associate who you all selected last time, and we are moving along with the hiring process at the speed of the city of New York, so.
He's not in the office yet.
The other personnel news that I have, and I made him send pictures. John and Paula are in Brazil. They are engaged. We're so happy for them. And Jordan and I are, also here. You can always call it. So congratulations to John. We are, for those of you who heard the report from Assemblymember Boris' office and said, why can't our resolutions have fun names like A10379? Really exciting news.
They do.
All our resolutions now have numbers, and so do our motions and the individual topics that we discuss. This is part of our bigger modernization stuff. For those of you who have in your packets the full board minutes from last month, you'll see that they've now been reorganized around those resolution numbers. And when you look at it on a computer, you can click that number and it will take you to a copy of that resolution in the portal. This is moving us toward one great database of all the resolutions, so you don't have to do wonky Google searches on our website anymore. It will be a big leap forward. The other exciting tech upgrade is that you will get to watch today for the first time your votes updating live on the screen. You don't get to see how people vote until the end of the vote, and then you can make sure that your vote was recorded accurately. So you'll have that to look forward to. And 2 steps forward, 1 step back, the tablets are misbehaving on us. John is the only one who can unsnarl them, so I hope you're enjoying your paper packets. Well, maybe we have a new hit on our hands.
Sometimes old school is better.
There you go. So thank you all very much. And I think.
Okay, all right, so Transportation Committee, come on down. Sure.
How do we, if we chose not to to use the app?
Yes.
How do we get it on little
That
devices?
the email that I send you sometime between noon and 2, if you click that meeting materials link, it will give you the same access you had on the tablet previously.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right, guys, you're up.
Okay, we just had one little item on our agenda. And it's the public ground improvement project. And it's really the presentation regarding the East 69th, public ground improvement project presented by the Department of Transportation in Hunter College. And DOT's public ground team presented along with student members of the Hunter College Placemakers Club, and you heard from some of them before. Mr. Proposer created a new public space in the street along the curbside outside of the Hunter College North Building on East 69th Street between Park and Overton Avenue. And it operated under the city DOT street seats program, and that supports permanent pedestrian streets installed in a parking lane featuring movable furniture, planters, and safety elements. And now I think there's been some confusion over certain of the parking, but as far as we know, you're not gonna be really losing much parking at all, because most of the area that they're gonna be taking up was no parking, even though there had been illegal parking there for a long time. And there are a couple of spaces that were reserved for Hunter, but the Hunter administration said they really don't want those spaces, and they weren't necessary. So in effect, what we were told here is that it's not gonna really have much impact on the parking situation in that area. The other thing that I think is important to note is that, Hunter College, is gonna be taking over the administration of this area. They're gonna be signing an agreement with DOT. And at our meeting, the Vice President of Administration, Gustavo Ordonez, there, he said they're gonna be, basically, it's gonna be open with this furniture out there from 8 or 9 till around 5 or so, or something like that. And they're gonna have security, they're gonna have posted rules, and they're gonna be responsible for cleaning it up and managing it every 365 days a year. They're prepared to do that, and they're fully supportive of it. And I think you heard some support from some community members. We've gotten some indication some people don't like it for various reasons, but I think the committee basically voted in favor of it, 7 in favor, 1 against, and 1 abstention. And I think that there's a feeling that this will not only help Hunter College students, but it will also be local community people who may want to sit there and during the day, and obviously they'll take up the furniture at a certain point, whether it's 5 or 6, and probably things will, some people may linger, but you just can't say at this point exactly. And also Hunter's gonna have a phone number that you can call them. They're gonna have people who are gonna be reachable at all times if there are issues. And do you want anything, Bert?
Yes, so there's another element to this, and I just wanted to go over what the parking situation was, because I know there was some confusion there. And it took a little while for us to confirm with DOT that in fact the original presentation included incorrect information, and the number of legal spaces that are going to be lost as a result of this, if it is implemented, is 0. And the reason for that is this area over here is what is now that Hunter faculty parking that they say they don't even want, and is now filled with vehicles that are using illegal properties. West of there is all no, and this area isn't even currently parking. It is used as construction staging. So most of that area is not even inhabitable by any type of vehicle. Then you get to a solid no parking zone. And that no parking zone extends the entirety of the rest of the block on the south side of the street. There is a fire hydrant over here. And then there is this little space where one car, as you can see from the street view, or over aerial view, is illegally parked. And we had a further request in the resolution to have DOT put in daylighting at this intersection, because this is something that this board has approved by a resolution. And this is a perfect example of a place where if there is a vehicle that is literally parked right up to the pedestrian crosswalk, is really creating a safety hazard over there. So that is the other piece of this resolution.
Okay, I see a lot of questions here. Yes, I'm saying. No, I was not, I thought you were saying, but I'll get to you. I'm starting in the back. No, I think it's too much discussion.
We have a second.
Well,
So you want to have a motion to call the question and we'll vote on it?
I'd like you to withhold that for the time, because I think we ought to have some more discussion here before we do that. I'm in favor, yes, Michelle.
Yeah.
Michelle's on our committee.
Yeah, I'm on
She
the
voted
committee.
against.
I voted in opposition, along with someone else who abstained, and I did so for this reason. In this spot in front of Hunter, they have a plaza, that's up a few stairs, right in front of the door where they're proposing that this seating go. And I didn't see much reason as to why they couldn't put outdoor seating on their own property, at their own front door, at the top of those steps, or even take advantage of the steps like the Met does and have people sit on the steps should they want to. And to take, anything in the roadbed or public space and just arbitrarily decide to put seating there, claiming that it's needed, to me, that's not a good philosophy in general, in my opinion. It's going to bring people loitering and sitting around while the school can bring the seats in at 5 o'clock. They're under no obligation to do that. In fact, they do not have a plan of hours, and they said some nights it might be later, some nights earlier. In other words, it'll be as a whim. Also, remember, it's seasonal. If it's very, very, very hot, nobody is going to be sitting there. If it's very, very, very cold, or snowy, nobody's going to be sitting there. And in terms of the parking spots, it's their spots. They claim they don't need it. That's not to say that another entity in the community doesn't need it, whether it be a private person or even the 19th precinct who needs spots. So in general, I'm not in favor of this as a philosophy of looking for spots to just arbitrarily put seating. The entrance to the Danny Kaye Theater is really a base, abuts that as well. So people will be sitting there because those chairs and tables will be out before and after performances. I don't see the need for this. I don't think that the school, their little group that they have, thought this might be a good idea, and so they proposed it. I don't know, how far their outreach was. I spoke to some people a block or so away who did not have any notice of this. But aside from all of that, I see no particular benefit for this. And I see that it could lead to litter. All these rules and regulations that Hunter's going to post is very nice, but it's in the enforcement. Somebody's not going to be out there all the hours that these chairs and tables are going to be there to make people will sit and eat, where their packaging is going to go, where the litter's going to go, whether or not street vending will take place there in order to take advantage of the tables and chairs, no verification of licensing or anything like that. So I'm not in favor of it.
Well, let me just say that the administration of Hunter was very clear. It came from the vice president of the administration. They're gonna have security people out there, they're gonna take care of that, and that's gonna be their obligation. If it doesn't happen, there are gonna be complaints, and they'll probably, that's gonna be an issue. But I don't think you can just say that's something that's gonna happen. I mean, that's pure speculation.
You've got Sasha on.
But it was my comment.
I understand.
And I'll just add that, there's been some back and forth between, the, board and Valerie and Hunter. And one of the questions that you brought up was responded to, and that was in regards to the patio of the plaza, in which the response was that requirements for maintaining clearances for ingress to and egress from the building make it infeasible to add tables and chairs at that location.
Yeah, and I, just for clarification, I did not accept that response. And I haven't heard back from them on it yet, just to be
All right,
clear.
let's go, Russell.
Yeah, so to that point, you can actually see in the presentation on page 12, not only is there ample space there for additional seating, there literally permanently are benches there for people to sit. So the idea that there isn't adequate outdoor seating in this area is completely wrong. In addition to the seating that's there on that block, at that spot, currently now, Hoses Park is on 68th Street between Lexington and 3rd, plenty of outdoor seating there. You have that giant plaza area on the southwest corner of 68th and Lex. where the subway exit is. Plenty of spots there to add additional seating, but you don't even need to because there are benches built in to the exit of the subway, plenty of places where people can sit right there. Not to mention the fact that we are talking about, and I'm all in favor of supporting our institutions in this community district, but Hunter College is a very large presence there. They have 3 buildings. If their view is that there needs to be more seating, not in addition to the places I've just described, you know, they have the space and the resources to provide that. In terms of the impacts, you know, it's not really that complicated, right? If currently there are cars parked in that space, whether they're legal or not, or illegal placards, if they're illegal, they should be cracked down on. But right now, there are cars regularly parked there. If those cars aren't going to be there, those cars are going to be somewhere else. The net effect of that is reduced parking overall. It's just basic, it's not complicated. The construction's not going to be there forever. That's a temporary condition. So the idea that that blocks the parking there, or whatever, that doesn't really add up. To the extent that the parking that's there is a no parking zone, right now it can be used for loading. If you put this into place, it'll be gone, and the only temporary loading that can take place is going to be right in the middle of the only traffic lane that's going to be left on that street that isn't going to have any space for cars on either side anymore. Now you're going to have no space on that other side. On top of that, when you put things in the street, it increases congestion. When you put things in the street, it slows traffic. That's just how it is. So all the stuff about the impacts and it's not going to do anything or whatever, it just isn't true.
Okay. TJ, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm on the committee and, you know, with respect to my fellow members taking a brave stand against putting a few tables and chairs here. Hunter doesn't have a big quad like a lot of colleges do. I think they have a need for seating and space for students to commune. I was at my college reunion a couple of weeks ago and they don't have a big quad like my school did. There may be seating nearby, but to me, it's a question of better using the street space that is there. There's plenty of people that need to sit and commune. It's outside the theater. One can imagine lively discussions happening after practices or shows. This is how community kind of happens. As we've learned, there's no parking being consumed, excepting those who are parking illegally. There is support from locals that we've heard today and that we heard at the committee meeting. I don't see the placement as arbitrary. It's utilizing a DOT program called street seats. So as a matter of policy, DOT has determined that streets may be for things other than storing cars. Indeed, putting things in the streets does slow traffic. That is a feature, not a bug. We like slowing traffic where there are a lot of pedestrians and students around. And finally, it was suggested by one of my fellow board members that, you know, streets are just not for living generally, and they don't agree with that. And it should just be for getting to where you're going and driving, and then we all live in buildings. I, you know, disagree with that vociferously, and we should support this.
I'd just like to make the point on East 68th Street. When I usually come to these meetings, I take the subway and get off at 68th Street, and it's very congested and well, really be a difficult place, I think, to have additional seating. Just observations. Miles.
I'm gonna agree with you, Chuck. I walk by there every day.
Carry on.
And of course, it's simply not sufficient. The space, first of all, right outside of the subway is no place for a green area. And that's right where the primary entrances to Hunter College are. So you can't be having a significant amount of greenery or seats right there because that will block the entrance, the egress and the ingress. And secondly, you know, similar to DJ, I visit a lot of colleges recently. You know, every place has a communal space, has a green space. If you go to NYU, they have the entirety of Washington Square Park. If you go to Columbia, they have an entire inside campus. And I think that a school in our neighborhood deserves a similar opportunity, even if it is not nearly as significant. I don't think that this is a change that will impact parking by 6 spaces that are not even supposed to be there. I can't believe that someone in the community has not raised the issue of illegal parking there already. And I think this is a really good turnaround of a space that was being misused.
Okay, Judy.
Yes, somebody mentioned Posey Park, or Posey Park is better close for construction for Hunter College. So that hasn't been open to us, and that was only on occasional weekends in the past. But I have to say, when they presented this, I thought they did a good presentation. And one thing wasn't mentioned tonight, or maybe I missed it, they were planning on having planters and flowers, etc., around the tables and chairs. And at the beginning of this meeting, all we heard about was from people who wanted more park space. So hello, here's some more park space in our district that we didn't have before. That's it.
Did you want to say something?
Sure, I sort of agree with what Michelle had said in the meeting, in the committee meeting. You said other things that you didn't get to say tonight. And I can't paraphrase them all, but some of the stuff, and I live on 68th and 69th. We have 68th, we have a bus, we have bus on 67th, we have the police, we have the fire department. We have congestion all there, and I think that the parking is problematic right now already in the neighborhood. The amount of parking is an issue. The Hunter rep did not seem to have a lot of answers when we actually did ask him about certain regulations. I also think that, I mean, even Merrimack, you brought up, we don't have a quad here. There are colleges that are in cities that don't have access to quad aspects. I don't support it. I don't think the neighborhood, the neighbors were really informed from what it sounded like. Many other things, Michelle, that you said, I can't right now think of off the top of my head, but I felt you had really spoke very well in the when you did, and I think that I echo everything you had said, but I have to listen again to the meeting. And you both seem to be supporting it so strongly. I'm not sure why, but
We're supporting the committee position. Basically, our committee supported it, 1-1. And that's why.
We'll see you.
I can go, I can.
Advocating.
you're advocating well.
Well, I advocate the committee position. The committee had done something else.
Okay.
Okay, Diana,
John,
yeah.
Yeah, I tried, but.
let's get some more discussion. I think it's a, yeah, go ahead.
Are you okay? Yeah, great then. I mean, that would have been interesting. Proud undergraduate alum of Hunter College that has, as a reminder to everyone in the room, 24,000 students, the largest four-year public college in the state of New York. That, in my humble opinion, and I think most of us would agree, contains itself pretty well in a very respectful way in our community. The arguments of like the space that these students need, it's ridiculous. I went to graduate school at Princeton, a school with a tenth of the population and like 15 times the size. Like what they are asking for is not egregious, and it also is not taking away anything from the community. I will also say there is a representative here from Hunter College who can answer some of the facilities questions if needed. I know that it seemed like there were some unanswered questions about what athletics said. Todd, I like that. I feel like you had questions and we did not have an answer. So I'm not sure if that's appropriate, but there is a representative here that could answer questions.
Okay.
Thank you. I would like to propose what I hope will be a friendly amendment, which is an additional, therefore be it resolved, that we call upon Hunter College to develop a comprehensive plan for seating and greenery on its existing campus, listing all of the spaces that have already been mentioned, as well as the complete opening of Jack Pose's Park to the community. If Hunter is willing to commit resources to creating this new seating, they should also be willing to commit the resources to better utilize the existing spaces that they have for the same purpose and for the community, which they patently have not done.
Because the community school has so many resources to spare.
Well, okay, this is not about,
Yeah.
first of all, I just have to interject. This is, and hasn't been proposed by Hunter as something for Hunter. They keep saying it's for the community. And a lot of these comments in favor of it are saying Hunter needs space. But that, I mean, people from Hunter are here. That has not been your proposal. It has been that it's for the community. So I appreciate that they have not a lot of green space, but that is not the proposal.
Well, it's for the community, but also Hunter too, Hunter's part of the community.
Well, I understand that, but
Hunter.
I understand that, but that's not being sold.
No, I thought they were just talking about it as a community resource.
Yeah, yeah, it's a community resource.
That's not independent of the fact that it's intended for Hunter.
But also, Greg, in the presentation, you can, they told us exactly how many tables and chairs. When they answered one of the questions, I think it was 15 tables and 30 chairs. I think it's over Sasha's outdoor dining limit.
Yeah.
Sasha is laughing on Zoom.
Yeah, they're not serving.
Sasha ones.
I know.
Yeah.
Peggy?
Yeah, I just want to point out to everybody that our community board is on record and has been for more than a decade in support of expanding open space in our community. And it has been deemed to be far more important to the family's health and welfare of our community than parking spaces. And I really hope that people will use this opportunity to support at least this small initiative to expand open space in our community, as we have been on record as being trying to.
Are you accepting what Elizabeth?
No, I don't think we can accept it because Hunter hasn't had any chance to respond and we don't know.
All
where
it is,
they
I'm
are.
gonna ask for Hunter to.
Well, they're in the room. I don't know if you can respond or not.
Make their open
Is that,
spaces
is
open.
that Gustavo?
Yeah, it's Gustavo.
Yeah.
He's been in the room.
Like to respond?
They don't have to respond if that's the resolution.
Well,
I think we ought to let them respond.
Okay, we asked them to come.
Go ahead.
Thank you for coming.
My name is Gustavo Ordonez. I'm the vice president for administration at Hunter College. I oversee facilities, public safety, IT, and environmental health and safety. I'd like to clarify a few things. We're not paying for the chairs and anything that's gonna happen in the roadway that's gonna be paid by DOT pursuant to this plan. We are entering into an agreement with them to maintain the space. So that's a very good. That clarifies some things. I think I want to address some of the comments about the parking. They are Hunter staff illegally parking on that side of the street. Once that space is being taken away, right, then they'll be ticketed where they park illegally or somewhere else. I can tell you that the commitment, we are very committed to this space, not just because of our students. It will be in the roadway, it will be available, subject to inclement weather, of course. Not just when Hunter is in session, summers, every time, for anyone to. There is no restriction within the community. And 69th Street is a much calmer street. And so DOT in their wisdom now chose that area. And so we're just fully committed to make sure to maintain it, police it, to make sure there's not anything.
As long as you're here, can you speak to making Jack Pose's Park accessible to the public as it is supposed to be and is not?
I can go back and talk with my administration, my president about doing that. We open it during certain time. The way we design spaces, the little that we have that are public, for example, if someone's commented, when we designed the renovations that opened 2 years ago on the West Plaza, we made sure that it provided benches for seating for Russian. And so, but we have very little space outdoors. And so in the outdoor space, the little that we have, it's shared with the community. But yes, the ones on 68th Street is primarily used by students, primarily used by subway users. And so this opportunity to not just create a space for us, but also that can benefit the community was something that we'd also couldn't pass up and that we fully support.
Elizabeth, what was your amendment again? You wanted to consider looking at, is that what it was?
like to see Hunter College develop a plan that really opens up Jack Poses Park, which is frankly completely gated from the sidewalk most of the time. It is one of the most uninviting, theoretically public spaces in this area. And it is supposed to be a publicly accessible park, and it's not.
Okay, I mean, as long as, I mean, they can develop or not develop, but you like to look at
We would like them to actively look at how to
Look at
make that
Okay.
equally accessible to
That's
the
something you
community
that's something you
as
can
they
look
are
at.
proposing it to be.
Well, I'm willing to have that discussion again.
Okay.
But even with the discussion, if this passes, we would be on record saying this is what we want. And that is, I think, what Elizabeth is trying to get at here, to make it crystal clear what our request is.
Okay,
Was that it?
Yes.
Seconded.
Oh, is there a second?
is there a second to Elizabeth's
Second.
motion?
Second.
Okay, second, okay. All right. We can accept that. We'll accept that. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you.
What are you going to roll call with?
No, we're not, not yet, we're not doing that. There will be.
Thank you for trying to move the meeting.
Okay,
We'll do that.
Meeting for 5 minutes.
I study at Hunter College. I obtained my master's degree in urban planning. And what Russell described, he described everything perfect. The Hunter College.
You're already in trouble.
Hunter has an opportunity to do the right thing. This entrance, they are a waste of the space that do not create an environment for the students. The only thing the students could they congregate at 68 is to go to the street vendor, eat, and then go to home. So my perception is they should have a plan to develop. I didn't know even the plan that Elizabeth mentioned. I was many years over there and I didn't know that exists that park. That is a surprise for me. So it's everything is hiding. It's time that.
You sure you went there?
They're gonna remove my degree. I know that.
Thanks.
So, and for those students that went to urban planning, you better do something, better analyze what is urban planning. It's not
Okay.
to take possession of the public space.
Okay,
It's-
that's
it's-
like, keep
Yeah,
it down, okay?
Okay, I'm gonna.
Thank you, yes.
Thank you. One of the public speakers had mentioned that the parks in the neighborhood were so unappealing. I would like to draw attention to the need to make the parks do what they're supposed to do, which is provide public space in exchange for what the developers got in building the building, which is something that they have permanently. There have been complaints over the years about the park over Tony's Di Napoli on Third Avenue, for instance. And there are other ones in the neighborhood that could certainly be maintained as, they're supposed to be maintained as welcoming public spaces, and they're not, and no attention has been paid.
Thank you, John. I think we have an opportunity to think outside the box and support this initiative. One of the reasons, especially in particular, is because, as Peggy mentioned earlier, our district has consistently ranked the lowest in terms of open space. This evening has been very exciting because we've seen two different proposals for open space. Some, 3 people came here to talk to us about creating some additional open space further down on 59th Street. Having this engagement with individuals who are really thinking about this and coming to the community board really offers an opportunity for us to partner with them and also to think outside of the box to create open space for our community. It's very important that people have the wherewithal to be able to find these places and utilize these places as we carry on our day-to-day responsibilities. So I'm suggesting very strongly that we partner with Hunter, that we partner with the urban planning students at Hunter, that we open up ourselves and we accept this opportunity to think outside of the box and to get this done.
Okay, Sasha on Zoom. I realize that-
Thank you. So I do want to ask because I'm generally supportive of this, and I think the whole board knows my opinions on things like outdoor dining and public spaces, but I am supportive of this. Is there a chance, or does this open up the possibility that now food truck vendors will start clogging up this corridor? Because this street right now is quite quiet. I think it's great to have this kind of open seating that the public can just sit and enjoy, whether it's students, whether it's the public, but I would hate to see it turn to just a series of carts lined up, like we see now at every subway station, every corner. They're just food carts, and there's a whole corridor on 68th like that. But kind of what is the balance, and does that, I don't know if the facilities manager is there, but does that open it up? Is that going to be allowed?
Let me ask,
Stop.
There is no commercial activity allowed near.
There's no
the
enforcement of that.
area. And yes, the enforcement would come from first, public safety or Hunter College, and if needed, NYPD, which is a block and a half away. The food trucks are allowed on 68th Street because they're allowed right next to the subway station.
Okay.
And they're convenient for everybody, but they're not allowed in 69th Street.
Okay, perfect. That is what I was most concerned about, but otherwise, I think this is better than a lot of sidewalk cafes, so I am on board with this one.
Okay, so this is the exception to Sasha's.
Addison?
Okay.
Okay, I think all in favor of calling the question? Any opposed? Okay, now the questions on the resolution we had with Elizabeth's amendment.
Can you restate Elizabeth's amendment just for?
Why don't you restate it?
It's an approval of this. Develop a plan to ensure that Jack Poses Park is also open to the community.
Well, is this part of the resolution in the sense of we're only approving it if they do that?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's
No,
an
no.
additional it's
It's
an
an
additional, therefore be it resolved.
Resolve.
Yeah, but
We're asking them
that's
to
not
develop a plan, it doesn't mean we're.
Yeah.
It's
It's not traditional approval, it is an additional point.
additional
that
ask.
we-
Well,
it's an
it's not part of the resolution.
It is part of the resolution.
The therefores are not resolved.
It's an additional resolve
It's
clause.
an additional.
Yeah, but that's not what she's saying. It's a different, it's an additional whereas clause.
It's an additional resolve.
Right. They're
Okay.
being also resolved.
Okay, all right.
Resolve.
Okay, that was my, okay.
Okay.
Make it
Now we got that clear.
public spaces. including those-
Okay, oh, well, let's see this fabulous thing in action.
Okay, let's call the roll.
Don't block it. I mean, there are people who've been waiting all night to see this video, so. This is our new system. Yeah.
Is that, so the whereas?
No, it's a resolve.
Resolve.
Resolve is gonna be that Hunter College should look into it, right?
Yes.
Not that
Yes.
we're saying it's not gonna be approved.
No, we're not, no.
More than look into it, should
Develop the plan.
develop a
What she
plan.
said.
Developing a plan.
They can
is different
develop
than
a
looking
plan,
into
but
developing a
we're
plan.
not saying,
Yes.
We're calling on them to develop.
we're approving
That
this
is not a
regardless of that. That's an extra thing we want them to do.
Well, that's the resolution.
Right,
So
exactly.
you're either voting for it or against it.
Correct.
Institution develop a plan or to look into developing a plan?
Develop a plan, they can, they'll
It is
develop a plan.
supposed to be a public space.
They'll look at it. I mean, I'll leave.
Well, there are people.
I'll leave it to them.
That was a mandate that we have no business saying.
The questions we call.
Okay.
Okay.
This is a
Let's
new,
vote.
this is a new system, so, we're gonna duplicate it where I'm gonna call the names and then, Sebastian is gonna put it in and it should show up in real time.
Is this gonna take twice as long?
I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know.
You gotta get the bugs out of it.
It's 8:44, everyone.
Yeah, let's go.
Anderson,
Where do I go?
Anderson.
Yes.
On Zoom.
Okay. Thank you.
Angelos,
Ashby,
Yes.
Abasar,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Birnbaum,
No.
Flores,
Yes.
Guerrero, Camp, Chu,
Yes.
Cone,
Yes.
Coleman. That's Andrea, is she not here? Maybe, I don't think so. Paulson,
Yes.
Carver,
Yes.
Fink,
Yes.
Nana Kumar Malaki.
Yes.
Was that it? Okay. Alan Clark,
Yes.
Kirshenson is.
Yes.
Awesome.
Said yes.
Hussein,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Later,
Yes.
Lev, Mancuso,
Yes.
Mason, no, McClement,
Yes.
Marshall,
No.
Phillips, Pope Marshall,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Sanchez,
Yes.
Snyder, Stellingson, Selim,
Yes.
Selway, Squire, Stein, Tamayo,
No.
Wald,
No.
Warren.
Yes.
Going back to the passes, I realized I'm not on this list. Yes. I don't know how we fix that.
I'll fix that.
Okay, did anyone else not get called? Abasar didn't got called either, did you? You did? Okay.
Look at the list.
I know, but I'm saying who's not on the list. Can't pass. Okay, Cam, back to you. Did
That's what
anyone
I'm trying to tell them.
not get called who is here?
This is proving my
Just
point.
me, okay. All right, so, can we see what this is? 34 and 9 against, it passes.
30 in favor, not 34.
Not 30 in favor, yeah, not 30.
Sorry.
Semantics.
I think technology is, needs a little. I think I'll be.
Are we done?
We're done.
All right, moving right along. Street light.
No, it's free.
I got cold, yeah, I got cold, I have, yes, okay. We had the best.
Nobody can hear. We had the best street life meeting we have ever had. There was only 4 applicants and it was awesome. We, however, have a different way of sort of looking at these now, so this is new for me, it's new for you. I want to start with the unanimous SLA approval, which is T159. Which is Sequoia Tree LLC, Addison.
I was gonna call the question of all the unanimous.
Okay, so we have 1 unanimous SLA and 2 unanimous DOT approvals. The DOT approvals were for both for sidewalk cafes. So I know we have some people who oppose this.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to do them all except for take Michelle off the sidewalks?
Yes.
That sounds good to me.
And the cannabis.
Great. Okay, we'll get
No,
cannabis in a
later,
minute. So for the members who are new, what's happening is there are some things that in our committee, we unanimously agreed to it. And so oftentimes people who didn't come to this committee meeting will agree to like consent to the wisdom of the people who were there and say, if you all agreed on it, we'll do it too. Sometimes they say, I don't want to do that, but often if there's a lot of them that are unanimous, we take them together. That's what just happened here. Okay. And then we had 1 non-unanimous approval, which was an OCM, the Office of Cannabis Management. This is resolution T152. Which is a renewal. It's not a new application. It's a renewal application for something called Favors Arcade doing business as Bad Mary Jane at 799 Lexington Avenue. Is that an advertisement? Yeah, Addison. Calling questions, second, okay.
Could you clarify what you're calling the question on that?
On the non-unanimous one, which was T152.
Thank you.
T152. For those of you counting. I don't know, I mean, yeah, it's a cannabis one.
Okay.
It's a cannabis one. For those of you who vote is very.
So what happened? Did you? No, he's only calling the roll on the cannabis, but on the other, did you take me out of the cafe?
Sidewalk Cafe, she's off.
But I am supportive of the new liquor licenses. but not the
How
outdoor.
do you do that?
Well, we can record it, they can separate it.
Okay.
Now you're calling the roll on the cannabis?
Right.
Okay.
Robin has a question.
Yeah, it's actually, she did that for me, because I went in there, it is the place I'm thinking of, and their windows are clear. And I went in and said something to them about how they're not complying with the law, and they just, the guard who is sent into the store, did not really care. So I don't know that they're complying, and I don't know that any of the cannabis places that look for renewals or new licenses actually do comply with all of the rules that are required. But this one, as I walked up Lexington, was very apparent.
So I haven't been to this one, but I will say the last renewal that we had people complain about them getting frosted windows and in 3 days' time they defrost them. That complaint was not raised at this meeting. I don't think anyone said that at this meeting. I'm not sure if it is or isn't the one you went into.
Also, I do have a question, which is, it says that one of the requirements is that they have delivery people wear the proper attire. How is that enforced? And how are they, if they're third-party delivery services, and I don't know if they are or they aren't, I don't order read through the red box, but, is Lori, how do you know what they're doing?
I don't know the answer to that. This is the affidavit that we have, anyone who's delivering anything, whether it be food, cannabis, whatever. And I don't know what the enforcement is for it. It is just that they attest that they will abide by some sort of way that they identify their delivery drivers.
We can talk offline about this.
Yeah, we can ask Dr. Tanzan about that. We can ask Liz Kruger's office about that. Maybe they need some.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
Okay, the call has been.
The question is called.
Okay.
Full vote on R 83. Anderson,
No.
Angelos. Yes. Ashby,
Yes.
Amasa,
No.
Byron,
No.
Birnbaum,
No.
Forrest,
Yes.
Barrero,
Yes.
Camp,
No.
Chu,
Abstain.
Code,
Yes.
Coleman,
No.
sorry, absent, Tormat,
Yes.
Paulson,
Yes.
Father,
Yes.
Singh,
Yes.
Nanakumar Malati,
Yes.
Helen Clark, yes, Hutchinson,
No.
Hussein,
No.
Johnson,
Yes.
Leda,
Yes.
Lev,
Yes.
Mancuso,
Abstain.
Mason,
No.
McClement,
Yes.
Paschal,
No.
Phillips,
Yes.
Pope Marshall,
Yes.
Price,
No.
Rose,
Yes.
Sanchez,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Seligson,
No.
Stella,
Yes.
Selway,
Yes.
Squire,
Yes.
Stein,
Step down.
okay,
No.
Tamayo,
No.
Wald,
Yes.
Warren.
Yes.
The vote passes 25 in favor, 12 against, 2 abstentions.
And everybody just check, just because this is our initial use, make sure you're in the right column, just take a quick look. I think it's fine, but.
I think it's fine.
If it makes you feel better, we've called the roll with this system for several months now. You just haven't seen this interface, which is Sebastian's handy.
Okay. Well done.
And just before we proceed, just clarifying, no one else had for the unanimous ones we had on sidewalk cafes and SLA, apart from Michelle, no one else had any special opt-in or opt-out.
There was no roadways, right?
Two sidewalks. No road.
No, there's no road deal on that.
Thank you for that.
Okay, landmarks.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, this was, this application was to legalize some, a construction error that, should have been caught at the time, as the committee, agreed. And, we unanimously voted, this is a unanimous disapproval of this legalization. The applicant claimed they had no idea that this was an error, until the time came when they had to get a certificate of occupancy 8 years after the initial application, because they've sold the building and you need a certificate of occupancy to sell a building, residence.
So. No, no,
It's close.
it's in contract, but they.
Oh, it's in contract.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter because they don't have
Anyway,
a
the point is
CFO.
that, the point is that the committee felt that we had to make a stand about people doing illegal work, getting caught, and then saying, oh, we didn't mean it.
Why don't you say what the neighbors said?
Oh, the neighbors not only said that they wanted it, I mean, again, if you read the thing. The neighbors said that it would be absolutely fine to cure this by demolishing the back piece that is 2 feet almost over the line and rebuild it where it belongs. They said, it's okay, we've had 6 years, 8 years of construction, we can live through a little more.
Okay.
Yes.
Call question.
Second.
Okay. Does anyone disagree with this unanimous committee?
Disapproval.
This is a first. I hope everyone is savoring this landmark moment in landmarks where everyone is agreeing with the committee. My job is done. This is amazing. And we don't even have to use the system.
My heart is broken.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. I know this is crazy, but does anybody have any old business? Oh, yeah, you can say whatever. Oh, yeah, sure.
I should have said this earlier. David Supporter, our new intern, is a student of mine at Stevens Institute of Technology, and he worked for me last summer, and I'm very happy that he's with us at the board.
Yay! Hey, thank you. Kim?
I was gonna make motion to adjourn.
Okay, before we do that, I just wanna give a final shout out to John Prowse and his on his engagement. He was so nervous about going through Brazil, meeting his future in-laws and telling them, he was practicing how to say it. It was crazy. But we wish them all well. Thank you for a great meeting, everyone. It's always great when the public comes out and has things to say, and appreciate everyone's attendance. And don't forget about our sanitation meeting tomorrow night. Thank you. Good night, everybody, and enjoy the Knicks parade if you go. Having been to one of those myself, you may want to watch